here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
Feel free to write in with any questions, comments, and requests for advice. Welcome back to Fantasy CTE. My name is Nick Masick. We've got Vital DeJuiced and Lonnie Cox. Welcome back for week 4 preview. Sorry we missed you guys on Monday night. For anybody who was planning on tuning in on Monday night, extenuating circumstances dictated that we had to have the podcast on Wednesday, so we didn't get your regular Monday night preview. Hopefully you guys did well on waivers. We'll still talk about waivers, but most waivers cleared today. So we'll hopefully you still nailed it. This was a pretty easy week on waivers, but we'll cover injuries and waivers in a little bit. But first, let's talk about these games this past week. Lonnie, you first thing out of your mouth when you logged in, Rams, best team in the NFL, which is exactly what I was going to say. Yes. 100% agree. Vital, do you have a differing opinion?
No, I'm with it. Yeah. But I always thought they were going to be good.
Dude, if only they had Jared Goff, they'd be so much better.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Were they bad last year?
They were not that good.
Team? Weren't they NFC contenders?
They were good, but they weren't that
They were
good.
Not bad, Lonnie. Don't do that. You act like he was Jesus Christ for their franchise. He gave him a boost. I'll give him that.
No. See, this is where I disagree. I think Matt Stafford is the truth. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I was reading about him today. By the way, I am the only one who picked him as the MVP preseason this year. As my MVP pick. That's looking good right now. As of right now. Name another front runner for MVP right now.
Aaron Rodgers.
That first game was a pretty
but he's still Aaron Rodgers. He's been shitting on people. Tom Brady's been going hard too right now.
Tom Brady's looking great. I mean, it looks great.
He's feeling mad.
Absolutely. But Aaron Rodgers had a bad loss in week 1.
They're not going to hold it against him.
They will.
Everyone's allowed that.
Yeah, but you know who hasn't had one of those yet? Stafford. And also Stafford just got, the head-to-head matchup. That's something else that may come.
Okay, we're also in week 3. I guarantee the Rams still will get knocked off in the playoffs, right around the championship, like they always do.
I picked them to go to the championship game also, which neither of you guys did, and that is also looking good. So I'm going to give myself an edge possibly in the preseason picks because that was one of the only things
we're in week 3. Relax.
They look that good though. They look really good.
Yeah, they look nice. But who have they played to? What are the teams?
They played the Bucks. They just beat the Bucks. All right, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but everyone's going to drop one. I got to see who else they beat.
Okay. I don't know. The Bears and
Yeah. Don't do that.
So whatever, but they beat the Bucks. That's the point.
So now we're like putting them in the Super Bowl because they beat the Bucks one time.
I'm putting them. They're the best team in the NFL as of right now. They're the team to beat.
Because they beat the Bucks. You guys are hype.
Best team in the NFL right now.
Right now,
best team in the NFL.
Relax.
Yeah, they're great. I thought they were going to be one of the best teams. I picked them in the championship.
Who do they lose to right now? Who plays them last weekend that beats them? Kansas City.
Let me see their schedule. Pull up their schedule because if they're beating fucking Chicago and that's
I'm just saying, like last week, who do they play that beats them?
Nobody. But this week is going to be a good test because the Cardinals have been pretty tough. So this is going to be that's going to be a game to watch. I'm very excited about that game.
Game of the week. Most likely, probably. I would say.
I would think so. Yeah.
When do they play the Cardinals?
There's a couple of nice matchups this week. Yeah, we got some interesting ones. So yeah, I like the Rams. I think they're every bit as good as. And you know what? I was reading about Matt Stafford. Shortest amount of games. I think least number of games to 30,000 yards passing. He's at the record in the NFL. Like least number of games played to get to 30,000. I think he's on a Hall of Fame.
He's an excellent QB because he had to play for a shitty team where he had to throw a lot.
Yeah, but there's a lot of players who played for teams that had to throw a lot. Let me put it this way. He beat Drew Brees to that record. Okay. Brees threw a lot and he didn't get 30,000.
There were seasons where Bruce had like really like down seasons though. Didn't he switch around teams or
Well, yeah, he was with the Chargers his first few years. And Breeze wasn't that great his first few years. Stafford's been great since he came in, like right out of the gate. Just
He also had
You're right,
Megatron.
I'm just shitting
forget.
on Stafford because I'm bitter right now because
Yeah,
of the
Megatron,
Chargers.
yeah.
Like, I don't think they're the best team. But yeah, Stafford is great. You're right.
I think
I
they
do
are
like
the
him.
best. I love him. I think he's always been underrated, and this year I think he'll get his due. How about the Bengals putting it to the Steelers? Oh my god, dude!
Steelers look awful.
Awful. Steelers are, and I know they're missing Deontay Johnson, and he is a major piece of that offense because of the style of receiver that he is and the way that helps Ben at this stage of his career. He can dump those short dump off routes, and Deontay Johnson makes things happen. So without him in the lineup, it's a big loss, but they just look so bad. I think the Steelers, they're going to finish in last place in that division. Like, no question.
They should not have brought Ben Roethlisberger back. That was a big, huge mistake.
Yeah. I know. I don't know what they're going to do.
He should have retired last year.
Yeah, definitely. Cam Newton's still out there. Cam Newton, Roethlisberger could fake a back injury or something.
But on the fantasy side, it's fucking great if you got Najee Harris, bro. He's having to work.
He is. Yeah, no, he's definitely putting in. You have him in our league?
Yeah, dude. I think he got like 30 points this week.
Yeah, he had a big week.
In a 10-point game. Think about the work. Love it.
Yeah. No, that's great. He's doing well. Who else? What other big games? Chargers, Chiefs. We said we were talking earlier. You called that, Lonnie. Chargers look good. Chiefs, I don't think they're bad. They're just their defense is bad, and they're gonna get everybody's best shot.
They lost the Super Bowl last year. Teams always struggle when they lose the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah,
most teams don't even make the playoffs the next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Super Bowl hangover. It's a real thing.
Yeah. But I think they'll still be great. I think everyone drops a couple, it's going to happen. They're going to be they're going to be at the top of the division still.
That division right now.
Tough division.
I agree.
Best division
I
in
still think
football?
they'll be near the top.
Best division in football? Maybe best division.
Raiders, Chargers.
There's a lot of parity though.
Broncos are 3-0.
Chiefs.
Broncos and Raiders are both 3-0.
Broncos, that's a real shitty 3-0 though. Who they play? The
Shitty
fucking
3-0
Jets,
for sure.
the Giants.
It's a soft
Dude, Pete Prisco ranked the Broncos 10th, I think, or 9th,
Mm-hmm.
and the Cowboys 16th. I'm like, bro, the Cowboys demolish the Broncos right now. Get the fuck out of here.
They would destroy them. Could you imagine that game?
I disagree. I picked the Cowboys to win. I think you're not giving the Broncos defense enough credit. I think the Broncos defense is pretty good.
I'm not saying they're
a lot of good. They played Tampa, right? And it was a fucking shootout. Or was it Kansas City? Who they play?
Who?
Oh,
Broncos?
Dallas.
No.
First game.
Dallas played Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and it was a fucking
First week,
shootout.
lost by 3 points, 4
It was a
points.
shootout, yeah.
Beat the Chargers, who just beat the Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
and demolished the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles aren't super good, but bro, we won that game by we were up by 30 points at one point, I think. They were beating shit.
I agree. They'll at least put up.
But the Broncos,
TDs.
and I know we're talking about the Jets, the Broncos just blanked the Jets.
Everyone's gonna fuck up the Jets, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
How many teams are going to hold the Jets to 0 points? Would the Cowboys hold the Jets to 0 points? I don't think so.
I think they could.
Maybe.
I think they could.
I don't think so.
I think a lot of teams could hold the Jets to 0 points.
Cowboys have some. I mean, they're banged up a little bit on defense, so I don't think they would. But
We played well, though. Our defense played well with nobody.
They did play well.
No DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
Bro, can I just have a Micah Parsons minute?
Yeah.
Holy
You look good.
that guy is so fucking good. Playing
So
defensive end, bro.
I know.
Not even playing his position.
You play any position. He's
Defensive end. He can probably play safety.
You can play safety. You can play linebacker, defensive end. Yeah. I mean, he's so versatile. He could just do whatever.
And number 97 was good. Oh, what a game. Such a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was a good one. That was a lot of fun. I like the Cowboys. I think they're going to do well. We all picked the Cowboys to win their division. We all picked the Rams to win their division. We all picked Micah Parsons as the defensive rookie of the year. So nobody's going to gain any ground when all those things happen.
Chase Young not living up to defensive player of the year hype right now. Myles Garrett, holy shit.
Myles Garrett is looking like he might
4.5 sacks.
Yeah, he looks really good. I know he's catching up to what's his name for the Cardinals, who hasn't had one since week 1.
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones. Yeah, he's almost caught up to Chandler Jones, who was on pace for like 75 sacks this year after game 1. But the Chargers, man, the Chargers, how good are they? We think that I think they might be playoff bound. That division is super tough. The Raiders also, and the Raiders are sitting at the top. The Raiders are at the top of the division right now. A little bit. I know it's a little bit. I don't think they've played any division games yet. So that division, as they start beating each other up, it's going to be real fun to watch. Real interesting. See how it sifts out. But right now, Chiefs 2 games back. Not a great place to be. All right, I want to bring something up that you guys were talking about. I think was it last week or the week before about how you thought Odell Beckham Jr. Was possibly done in the league, and he went ahead and led his team in receiving last week. I told you guys you were way
also
jumping
it's
the gun
still a
that.
possibility. He could still twist his knee next week. Relax.
You guys said he was like, "Is he done in the NFL?" And I was like, "What are you even talking about?"
Again,
and he literally led his team in receiving last week. Okay,
it's 1 week.
Clearly not done in the NFL though. Like, definitely still the team's number 1 receiver.
To my defense, I thought he was done in the NFL when I was under the impression he had a healthy scratch.
Yeah, which he definitely didn't.
Which he wasn't.
He is not.
I was wrong
until now, and they actually didn't really need him. The Browns just, they basically ran all over the Bears. But still, Beckham, number 1 receiver on his team. Still probably very good
against an 0-3 team. They're really padding his value so they can trade him real quick. They're like,
I don't think so. I don't think they're looking to trade him. I think he's icing on top of their cake because they
I agree
pretty well without him.
The Browns are such a good team, dude. They don't need Odell, so like they really they take a safety away. And now, like, Odell's just running around.
Right, exactly. So he's still not. I don't think he's single coverable by many guys, at least.
Yeah.
He's still, if he's healthy, he's still a double cover guy. And then you're
right. It is icing on the cake. Yeah.
Yeah. He's icing on that cake. And he could put him over if he gets back to, or even close to back to like 100%, he could put him over the top for, maybe a push at the Super Bowl. They look good.
But that division.
Yeah. Oh, I think that division is easily within reach. But the Bengals and Ravens are, also tough.
The Ravens are looking much better than they did last year. They're really clicking.
Yeah, they're starting to put it together. How about Justin Tucker's last, oh my God, record-setting field goal?
I played against him in another league, dude. I'm so bad.
Dude, if you have, I don't know, people have kicker bonuses, but that was like the highest scoring kick ever.
I saw that someone on Reddit scored 180 points from that kick.
How's that possible? That can't be right. That doesn't make any sense.
I swear to God.
180 points.
They had a thing like their kicker bonus was like if any kicker kicks over 66 yards, it's 180 points.
No.
Never happened before. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we need to put that rule.
We should add that rule. Yeah. He's amazing. He's the greatest kicker, I think. I mean, it's hard to say greatest kicker of all time because of the longevity of, but yeah, guys like Adam Vinatieri, he's got the most points of all time.
But dude, Justin Tucker's been doing it for a long time.
I think he retired. He will retire as the greatest kicker of all time.
I mean, pretty sure he played at Texas with either Vince Young or Colt McCoy, but like that's how long he's been in the NFL for.
He's been doing it, and he's still dominating.
Decades.
Dominating. Yeah, that was something, especially to see him bounce off the crossbar for the record. That was awesome. It was good by an inch, literally by an inch, game of inches.
You guys remember when Lane Kiffin made Sebastian Janikowski try like a 76-yard field goal, and then he got fired 2 days later?
Yes, I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was, I mean, Janikowski could have kicked those. I'm sure he kicked them in practice sometimes, but
there was a rumor that when he was in high school, he kicked an 80-something yard at practice.
Right.
So, he had a huge leg. Remember that guy?
I'm sure, dude.
Yeah, but it's different in a game situation too.
Oh yeah,
and plus maybe if the ball slipped a little bit, there are a lot of little factors in that bar, dude.
Right.
Yeah, there's also the factor that whoever was at high school with him was full of shit, and no way, dude, you didn't kick an 80-yard something. 80.
You don't know what? I don't know.
No chance.
I've seen some shit.
Physiologically impossible.
We got a comment from the Fantasy Few. He says, I'd be drafting J-Tuck first round in the draft. Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Good for it. Go for it.
You know what? He does get drafted real high though. Like he's the only kicker. I think he's easily the highest round kicker. I want to say I may have seen him as high as like the 9th round at some point. I
don't know. Vegas's kicker is good too.
Yeah, no, I mean Carlson's pretty good. He is. Yeah, there's a bunch of good kickers, but Justin Tucker's the cream of the crown. Youngwaku's good, but he is by far the best. How about the Jags? Speaking of the kicking, excitement in the kicking game. Did you see the Jaguars return the field goal attempt for a touchdown?
Yeah,
the end of the first half, 0 time remaining, ran it back for a touchdown. End of the second half. I was like, oh, I've only seen that one other time. I think it was Chris McAllister, another Ravens player.
Devin Hester did it once. Antonio Cromartie did it once.
Oh, okay, yeah, Cromartie. I remember.
Maybe Deshaun Jackson did it once.
Oh,
a couple people have done. I've seen it a couple times.
I remember only seeing it live the one time, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like watching the game and being like, holy shit.
No, I definitely saw Antonio Cromartie do it live, and I saw Devin Hester do it live once.
So fun. It's awesome.
Oh, and then of course I watched the Iron Bowl that year, in college football when Auburn won that year. They beat Alabama.
Oh, that was great, dude.
Amazing.
The worst field goals.
Amazing.
Oh boy. What else do we have happening? So this was interesting. Josh Gordon. Speaking of, now, if you guys had told me last year, Josh Gordon, he's washed up, I would have agreed with you. And but he just got signed by the Chiefs.
Yeah, he got signed. He's not going to do shit.
Does he help?
Yeah, you got to see. This could be another Le'Veon Bell situation. He might not like his role might not fit in, but you got to draft him, right?
You got to sign him. I think it's actually a pretty good signing because of they don't have any receivers like him on their team. Everybody's small and fast, and he doesn't even have to be anything compared to what he used to be. He can be a number 5, their 5th option. And if it's Josh Gordon with that big body and he's still got some skills as a possession receiver, like that's tough to deal with. You throw him on there if he's still got the physical talents, and he's not that old. You got to remember, he's like, what is he, the same age as Julio? I think he's in that era of receiver. So if he's kept up his body,
he hasn't played as much. So there's that. His body's a little.
Every time he's been on the field, he has been productive.
Yeah.
Every time he's come back, he's like, he makes plays. He's tough to cover. He is never on the field. He has never looked like he's washed up. So it'll be interesting to see.
I think he'll do well there. But I mean, no.
I think he'll contribute. I don't think he's gonna be fantasy relevant.
Fantasy points? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you really need a R2 and you're just crossing your fingers.
Yeah, he's like 3 injuries away from being fantasy relevant. But for that team, I think he does really help them potentially. If he's even close to
he's definitely gonna pick up some yards, some first downs for them.
He'll pick up some first downs, yeah, definitely. The Bears had a historically bad offensive day, I think it was. I think they put up like the least number of points per play in like 50 or 70 or is some ridiculous, like maybe 100 years. I don't know.
Did he get sacked like 7 times or something?
Or whatever? 9.
Something crazy. Maybe my brain wouldn't want to believe 9. It's like he didn't get sacked many times. Like, that's crazy.
So ugly. That Bears offense is so ugly.
I
don't know what you do about that if you got any.
Why do they take? You got to take them out by 5, right? Like,
man, they might not win any more games. I don't know. That's very I don't know. Do you play Fields? Do you put him in?
No.
There's still a question mark.
After getting sacked 9 times, you got your taste.
Yeah. But Dalton's not 100% healthy either, though. So you might end up having to play, like being forced to. Or you could also, I guess they still have Nick.
Yeah, they have their 3rd string. Why not play him?
Play the 3rd stringer, you're saying?
Okay, like, do they think they're going to win this division? I don't know. I guess it's not that. I don't know. The Vikings are having a good start, but I think they're a better team than they're starting.
Definitely. The Vikings looked really impressive against the Seahawks. They pretty much manhandled them. There's the fantasy few coming in 1.2 yards per play. It's great being a Chicago fan. Yes. 1.2 yards per play. That was it. That was it's so awful. Well, at least they can get the fans to shut up about Fields. At least they're not going to be booing Andy Dalton anymore.
You wait, as a fantasy fan, as well as a Chicago fan, does he want to see him on the field to get sacked 9 times?
I don't know if the Fantasy Few is actually a Chicago fan specifically, but feel free to write in and let us know. Do you want Fields as a Chicago fan? Do you want Fields on? I think the Chicago fans now, they've just given up. Like they're done with football season now.
Yeah, exactly.
3
so
weeks
just
in,
put the
like,
third string in and just ride this season out.
Yeah. Kind of the way Lonnie's fantasy team is doing, actually. You like
That's right.
The Bears
Mm-hmm.
are
I like to prefer myself to the Jets because nobody scores. And we just show up. We're there. We're happy to be there. We're enjoying our Sunday. We like the game, but we're not really interested in doing anything while we're there.
Right. While you're there, while you're in the game.
This is a good season for you. Maybe you're going to trade.
I scored one touchdown besides Aaron Rodgers. My whole team.
Oh, God, it's so bad. Oh, man.
DeAndre Hopkins, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Davis, Jonathan Taylor. None of them scored. Nobody scored. Hollywood Brown dropped 2 touchdown passes.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oof.
Peeped that last year, dude. He dropped a couple, and I was like, it was crazy.
Oh, man, that's rough. Mm-hmm. So the Fantasy Few writes in. He says, I want Nick Foles out there right now. Honestly, give Fields some time. He agrees with us. It's Nick Foles time in Chicago. That's what we're on. James Zoo, he's got a question for us. I hope I pronounced your last name. By the way, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the show and having a good fantasy season. James Zoo writes in, start Higbee or Pitts this week. Let's look at those matchups. Tyler Higbee, we know he's playing against the Cardinals, and Kyle Pitts is playing, who got Atlanta? Falcons are playing the Washington football team.
I would go with Higbee.
Here we go, Higbee. I
think that they tend to be shootouts in Arizona, dude. So.
They do. But the Rams have so many options. I think Pitts is maybe the number 2 option on that Falcons team. I would play Pitts just because of his talent and his usage. The way they move him all over the field and line him up in all kinds of different spots. Yeah, Higbee's really talented. He could have a good game, but so could anybody else on that Rams team. You know, we saw Deshaun Jackson catch a bomb against the Bucks last week. So like I feel like almost if your name's not Cooper Kupp, you are a touchdown dependent Ram because anybody could get anything in that offense, which is why they're so dangerous. Lonnie, you want to weigh in? Pitts, Higbee?
Personally, I'm going to take Pitts. I think Pitts, again, they're using him as a wide receiver. Higbee, I don't know. You know, I don't really know what the rankings are in terms of defense. Like, how does the Arizona defense play against tight ends versus how does Washington play against tight end? But,
I will just say this. I just looked up their stats. Higbee got 5 targets last game, whereas Pitts got 3 and only caught 2 of them. I'm just saying, if you're going for like targets, dude, I'm telling you, Higbee's a bigger part of that offense. Like,
okay. Well, there you go.
I think targets, dude. Like,
I think the offense had a lot more plays for the Rams than the Falcons.
I think that's what I don't know.
But that could.
I mean, you're only talking about 5 versus 3. You're not talking. It's not a huge difference.
Yeah, it's not a big difference.
But the Rams are scoring more points.
3.
Rams are scoring a lot more. Yeah.
No. I think I'm going to switch to Higbee.
Yeah, you're on Higbee.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 out of 3 say Higbee. That should be a shootout, and the Cardinals defense doesn't look super great. So thanks for watching, by the way, James. Appreciate it. Good question. I got a gripe. So first of all, Eli Manning was inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor, whatever. We'll get to your next question in just a second, James. Thanks for watching the show. So Eli Manning inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor, which, okay, fine. You have to do it, I guess, whatever.
So salty. Guy won 2 Super Bowls. He's the best Giants quarterback of all time. Like, he's the best quarterback.
Well, who else should be there?
He is not.
It's just the Giants. Let them have it.
Not the Giants' best quarterback of all time.
As far as who's brought like
their best
glory
quarterback?
to the
Giants
franchise, yeah,
Phil Simms was a better quarterback than Eli Manning.
He only won 1 Super Bowl.
It doesn't matter.
It matters because
Eli should have won 0 Super Bowls.
He won 2.
If Phil Simms had been on those teams, they would have probably won 3. They would have beaten those Patriots teams probably in a more legitimate fashion if Phil Simms had been on those teams.
Phil Simms was a great quarterback. Is he better than Eli Manning? I think that's debatable.
I didn't. No, it's not debatable. From a skill, like no. All right, whatever.
Did Phil Sims have longevity like that though? I don't know. Oh no, wait. Phil Sims might have won 2 Super Bowls.
No, he didn't because they had somebody else in for one of those Super Bowls
for like the 90 when they won in 90. Because I know Lawrence Taylor won 2.
I think he was hurt, but he should have won 2 Super Bowls.
Okay.
So
no, Phil Sims was good.
He was great. And you want to talk about longevity? Eli played, a lot of games, but he had a lot of really, really bad seasons. He played longer than he should have. You want to talk about
I know he sucked. I hate Eli. Man. He sucks.
He's terrible as a quarterback.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But the guy won 2 Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
Dude, Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl.
Brad Johnson was dope. Brad Johnson was a good quarterback.
That counts, dude.
Brad Johnson was shit.
Does he make the Bucks Ring of Honor though?
He should.
I don't think he does.
I mean, no, but it's a different situation, man. Like he didn't play his entire career with Tampa Bay.
So here's my gripe. I don't care. I get the Giants; they have to have their moment. That's not my problem. The problem I have is the reenactment of the helmet catch during the ceremony.
Okay, that was corny.
It was corny. But you're only pissed because you're a Patriots fan. Like,
fuck those guys. Like, you're celebrating the most bullshit play in Super Bowl history. Like,
that was so cool.
What was bullshit about
that
it?
Was so fun.
Terrible. It was the
bullshit about it.
It was the worst play ever.
Let me tell you what. I actually wanted the Patriots to win that year because I don't know if you remember, but the Cowboys were so good. Like that
Cowboys actually should have won the Super Bowl that year.
Should have won the Super Bowl, correct? But we lost.
Like
Cowboys fell apart in the playoffs. But so I wanted the Patriots to win, and then fucking that game was so good.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so stupid.
And then come on, dude, that throw to Mario Manningham on the sidelines, like that was an epic.
That throw, no, I think that was a different Super Bowl, wasn't it?
It was a different Super Bowl. That was
so
good.
That was great. That one I'll give him. Okay. But the helmet catch, really? Like you're going to reenact the helmet? Like it's basically them admitting that Eli is bullshit and that this whole thing is just a big
bullshit. It's fun sports.
Eli, that's his energy. He's goofy, bro. He makes magic happen.
Little Giants, man. Little Giants.
He was such a bad quarterback.
That was the annexation of Puerto Rico right there.
Man, you're right. It was. All right, James, another question. Start 3 wide receiver league. Hopkins, Ridley, CeeDee, Godwin. Which one are you leaving out? DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, CeeDee Lamb, or Chris Godwin this week? You got to pick one to leave out. Not Hopkins. You always play him. He's going to have some down weeks.
Always play him. He'll score you 5 points.
Sometimes he's going to have down weeks, but he will also explode.
Yes, I think he scored 1 touchdown so far.
Scored me 6 this week, but I'm
FYI.
always going to play him because
CeeDee has 0. CeeDee has not scored a touchdown this year.
Who's CeeDee's nuts playing this week? Who are the Cowboys up against? I think I play CeeDee also. I think I leave Ridley out of that. Especially if you're playing Pitts, leave Ridley out. I don't know. Hedge your bets there.
Wait, who?
Or do you play the
Cowboys? Play Carolina.
You know what? Actually, I think I might leave CeeDee out.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I'm going to leave CeeDee out.
I'm leaving CeeDee.
Or if you have both of them and they're your top 2 receivers, you play them because you don't have anybody else.
Listen, man. Don't talk to me about that. I had my top 4 receivers were all injured this past week, and I still found a way to get it done. Okay.
You're 3-0. What are you supposed to do?
That's what I'm saying. Because I found a way to get it done, man. I'm that kind of a manager. I manage my team.
Look at this guy, dude.
I'm just saying it feels good not to have any injured player. I know I do have injured players. I just have injured players. But it feels good not to have like my star players injured.
You know what feels really good is having your star players not be injured and also not
still play bad. Listen, that sounds like a drafting kind of issue to me.
How drafting? Fuck off.
You're making
like you wouldn't have taken wouldn't have taken DeAndre Hopkins if he was on the board in the 2nd round. You take him. Anybody takes him.
You have to look inward for your decision.
I didn't though.
You didn't. I took him. You would have picked him if it wasn't for me. It was.
I don't know. I was dead set on a running back at that point because you got to remember I took Kelsey in the 1st round, so
right.
I had already taken my first. As far as I was concerned, Kelsey is my number 1 receiver, so I was like done with receiver, taking a running back, and that was no. I wasn't even going to go close to. It would have been a tough call though if Hopkins was there. All right. Oh, this is a cool thing. This is a really cool thing that we just found out this past week. The This year, they're adding one extra game on Monday night. The wild card weekend is going to have a Monday night football game because we have extra games because of all of the the added teams or whatever. There's only one team gets a first round bye. We got 3 games on each side of the bracket, each conference. So we get a Monday night football game bonus.
So there's going to be 2 Monday night games?
No, there's going to be a wild card weekend
game that gets played on Monday night.
Yeah. So normally, and they haven't even decided.
You mean wild card weekend, like the weekend that decides who the wild card is?
No. Like the first round of the playoffs, we're going to have.
That's what I'm saying. So there's 6 games. They'll do 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
Right.
Shouldn't there be 2 on Monday?
I think they might do 3 on Sunday, like 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday night. I'm pretty sure that's what they announced. But regardless, we get an extra night of Monday.
Yeah, it's going to be dope.
So it's going to be great. So
I love Monday Night Football.
Me too. So we'll definitely try to stick. Hopefully we can keep the Monday Night podcast regular schedule for that one because that would be great. We've never had Monday Night Football playoff game before. It's going to be good fun. Fantasy Few writes in again, Washington's defense has been getting torched by wide receivers this year. So I'd say Ridley is a safe play. Thank you for writing in on your also weighing in on the advice. Okay, let's talk injuries. I don't even like it starts and ends with Christian McCaffrey. I think that's it. Like do we have to talk about other injuries? I think we just talk about McCaffrey. Dude, hamstring again, hurt, banged up. They're saying probably they think it's just gonna be a couple weeks, but
you see it, man. All that use, man. They workhorsed him. Now look.
So one of the things, and Chuba Hubbard looked really good coming in. Obviously, he was the number 1 waiver in every
gone
league.
This week. Dude.
Yeah, gone. For whoever had the first pick on waivers, people were bidding really high. Desperate teams, I feel like, because he may only have 2 weeks of high usage, but teams that are desperate were like really going hard.
You got to look to win every game. Don't even think about the future. Try to win this week. Man.
Right. But it was, because there are guys that's like, if you have a limited number of running backs like we do, you're starting to look like, okay, overall this season, is he worth dropping this guy to get a couple weeks of production or not? Because we do have a limited number of running backs. But
generally, where I'm at right now, like I'm not trying to, like I wasn't gonna get what's his name Hubbard because like my team has not played up to its potential yet. So I'm waiting for like a Mike Davis ball out game, a Jonathan Taylor ball out. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm sure there's other managers out there that are in similar situations where it's like. You have a decent team. They just haven't played well yet.
So I didn't put in for him in one of the leagues that I have Trey Sermon. The one league I could have maybe made a bid for him. I have Trey Sermon as my 5th running back on my bench. And I'm still kind of waiting to see because like he could rise to the top of that depth chart this year.
Easy.
And Chuba Hubbard is like a 2-week, rental, right? That's kind of how we're viewing him.
But
So I'd rather have Trey Sermon.
2 weeks, but it's very likely that he gets hurt again, just from the use that he gets.
It is a hamstring injury, and that's a big question mark. So here, the other side of it too is maybe when he does come back, do we see a more balanced, usage? Do we see his,
especially if he did well,
right? And Chuba Hubbard is playing well. Do we see McCaffrey's usage go down a little bit? So it's going to be interesting. It's funny. You see guys who get to that top spot in fantasy, and they usually only stay there for a couple years. You're starting to see some guys fall off already, like Ezekiel Elliott. Maybe not even a first rounder next year. That's what I've been saying. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that sucks. A lot of people took him as their first pick, dude.
I wouldn't have done it. I didn't. I saw Tony Pollard's potential last year, and
I was nervous about that too, dude. Yeah. I was like.
I mean, second round, great, sure, fine. But Tony Pollard looks like he is a stud, man. He is so you got to be high on Tony Pollard, right, Lonnie? Mm-hmm. I mean,
yeah, I like him. I'm not sold that Ezekiel Elliott is done. He might be done as the
not done
main show.
Yes, done as the work.
I just mean fantasy wise. He's not.
Oh yeah. I mean, is he your top 3 pick in the NFL like he was 3 years ago? No.
Yeah. I think he falls into 3rd round range.
Agreed.
Timeshare backfield, quality back, but timeshare,
You've got what? You've got 5 running backs that are the Christian McCaffrey, the Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry,
Minnesota's
Nick Chubb,
Dalvin Cook. You know what I mean? You've got those top 5, Ezekiel Elliott. at times was the number one pick. You
Right.
know what I mean?
At times he was, and now he's not going to be. Yeah, he's not going to be a keeper next year. That's for sure. In keeper leagues. So Dalvin Cook was another one. He was kind of like a maintenance rest. It seems like he's hurt, but he's not badly hurt. Like he probably could have played, but they just kind of decided to rest him, is what I gathered. And Alexander Madison just destroyed Seattle.
Madison proved last season that he's a really good running back too. They keep him on the bench, but when he went down last year,
he's a monster. He's like one of the best handcuffs in the league. So some people picked him up as well. Dude, if I had either one of those guys, I would definitely have taken McCaffrey. I would have definitely tried to handcuff him. And same with Cook. As great as they are, they have really good handcuffs. What else? Anything else, you guys? Any other injury? Oh, I was just reading this. Both the Titans wide receivers are questionable with hamstring injuries. It's that hamstring time of year. I think guys are starting to tighten up. It's fall. AJ Brown, hamstring, and Julio Jones are both dealing with hamstring injuries. So they're both questionable going into this week. That'll be really interesting to see what that offense looks like if both of them don't play, I should say. I don't know.
I think either of them will. Maybe not
one
both.
of them's going to.
One of them will for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about dealing with those hamstring injuries, man. And I'm always wary about playing a guy who's got a hamstring injury, is questionable all week, and then does end up starting, because sometimes they tweak it in the first quarter and they go right out. You know what I mean? Like if I have a healthy option on my bench that I think is maybe consistent, and it's a hamstring injury specifically, I might play the guy off my bench who's healthy, you know?
I would always go with watch the practice. Like if they actually do practice, that says a lot. Like even if they do play him, dude, they're not going to right. have him walk out there. Are you okay?
I don't know those guys, but those guys can both be used as
well, not Julio for that team. No, either of them are like, Julio's not accustomed to that team.
No, but what I'm saying is those types of receivers can be used as decoys. So they could play at 70%. They could put them out on the field. They're like, you're not going to get worse, but they're not going to be 100%. But they're just using them to draw the coverage. They're not.
That's what I mean. What's the practice? Are they actually there to practice to get their routes right, or are they just? Or they just
put you in trotted out onto the field, and they're not going to be productive, but they're just going to basically pull coverage.
Exactly.
And, so they can't load the box against Derrick Henry. Those are the things that I get concerned about. If it's like a rib injury or something like that, and they play, I'm like, I don't care. If they're playing with a rib injury, they're playing. You know. Really though, like that's because that's just like, can you deal with the pain? Okay, cool, but you can still run fast and catch the ball. So
it depends what defense they're playing. If they're a hard hitting defense, I don't know, because I wouldn't play them against the Saints because he might go out in the first quarter.
Oh, is that a we're talking about Bounty Gate again?
They're good defense is what I'm saying.
They are pretty good.
I'm just saying they're good defense.
Yeah, there's some, you know, as bad as the Bears have been, their defense has been scoring. Their defense is putting up points, fantasy points. So there's definitely some surprise fantasy defenses right now. I think the Bears defense looks good. The Broncos defense, Panthers defense has been playable.
I think Dallas's defense is also scoring pretty well.
Dallas's defenses look pretty good. Yep. And they have some bad matchups, or good matchups, I should say, against bad teams. Their division is just not great. So offensively, their division opponents.
Dan Quinn, good hire.
Yeah. He was always a great coordinator. He was
so good. I mean, he wasn't he at Seattle? Wasn't he Legion of Boom?
Yeah, he was Legion of Boom. He was one of the original Legion of Boom guys. All right. Anything else news-wise you guys want to talk about? Lonnie, I'll be honest, I looked at your team and I was like, I don't think I can give you, I was thinking about making a trade offer, but I was like, I don't think there's anything I have to offer you that you would accept, because I looked at your team and it doesn't look that bad. You're just kind of.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad team. They're just not playing. What I'm thinking is like, I'm going to win some games down the stretch. You know what I mean? So I'm not out of it. Yes. If I go to 0-4, that's most likely it. But
0-4 is a bad spot to be in our league. And there are 3 teams potentially staring down the barrel of 0-4. You, Warren, and Chris Braun.
Chris is actually a member of the NFL, so I don't feel as bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, you know, shit happens.
Yes. The fantasy, Sorry.
It's fantasy. It's not like Madden. It's not like I can't like get on the field and play for them. You know what I mean? Like they score what they score. I can't. And I just so happen to have played against guys who have scored a shitload of points. It didn't matter the last 2 weeks because I didn't score anything.
Score shit point. Yeah, you scored poorly.
You know, one of these weeks I'm going to start hitting. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to start getting some touchdowns.
Yeah, I think your team will catch up, but it's just so hard to make the playoffs in our league, man. This year it's going to be 6 teams in.
Probably done. I'm probably out of the playoffs, which is fine. I just don't want to fucking dance.
I was going to say, and don't forget, the winner of the losers bracket still gets scratch ticket, $25 in scratch tickets, which you said you wanted last year over the actual prize.
I didn't say over. I said I like the idea.
He knew his own future.
So you got your own. Yeah, you could still end up being the biggest winner in our league, even from the losers bracket, depending on how those scratch tickets.
It's like being the tallest midget. I'm down.
Fantasy Few writes in, Cincinnati's defense is looking fantastic. Also, they haven't played the best teams, let's be honest, but they are looking pretty good, and they are playing Jacksonville this week. So Cincinnati's probably a hot defense to ride.
Yeah, man. Trevor Lawrence is a pick magnet, dude.
It's not his fault.
Which one of these rookie? So my pick for rookie offensive rookie of the year was Zach Wilson. We're about to get to worst QB of the week. A nice transition there. But which one of these? So who is going to be the offensive rookie of the year? Is it Najee Harris right now?
It's either Jamar Chase or Mac Jones.
Oh yeah, Jamar Chase is.
Jamar Chase didn't have a good first game, I don't think, though.
Jamar Chase has scored in every game. He's got 3 or 4 touchdowns already.
Jamar Chase is
he's balling. He's balling.
He is balling. Yeah, he's probably going to be right. He's probably going to be the offensive rookie of the year. Mac Jones has been okay. Which one of these off rookie quarterbacks is going to have the best season? Do we think? Do you think it's going to be Mac Jones with the Patriots? At the end of it, we're still.
Let's see if Trey Lance gets in. But yeah, I mean, right now it looks like Mac Jones because it's usually, let's be honest, it's usually the guy on the best team, right? So
yeah, offensive rookie of the year.
You know, do you put Trevor Lawrence on the Patriots and he does worse than Mac Jones? No way. You know what I mean? Like Trevor Lawrence on the Patriots.
I also think Trevor Lawrence has a bigger chance to turn it around too.
Correct.
Like, I don't know because he's getting so much usage. Like he's gonna get just sling it, dude.
Yep. Statistically,
but that's not what he needs. He doesn't need. You don't need to sling it in the NFL. This isn't Clemson. You need a running game and a defense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But I'm saying for rookie, for those stats, I think they're gonna look at those highlights.
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of yardage. He's gonna have a lot of completions. He's just throwing a lot of picks because he's a rookie. Yeah, and they're being forced to play catch up. So he's just gonna have one of those years. It's funny. His first 3 losses, his entire career, the first 3 weeks, his rookie year.
Whatever I've started.
First 3 regular season losses in his career.
Regular season losses in history. Just 0-3. Probably gonna be 0-4. I'm excited about that Jags Bengals game though. All right, so let's nice transition. Let's work into worst QBs of the week from last week. So, Lonnie, you had the first pick. Very respectable showing from Davis Mills as the worst quarterback. Dropped a 7.72. That was looking real good, I thought.
Until Zachy was Zach.
Vital had Taylor Heineke, who actually looked He killed it, dude. I told you guys a couple weeks ago.
Pretty good.
He is good. You were like, oh, they're going to go look for a guy. I'm like, no, they're not. Taylor Heineke's good. He gave the Bucks a run for their money last year. They're riding Heineke. And he could end up stealing the starting job from Fitzpatrick if he gets
riding Heineke. That's a good name for a fantasy football team.
Riding Heineke. It is. Yeah, Heineke, if you're picking him up on the waivers, call your team that. And then I picked Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson dropped a negative 2.4. It hurt me a little bit because he was my offensive rookie of the year pick. But also I was like, oh man, he's dog shit right now. So you guys looked at your have you guys been contemplating who you?
No,
I'm looking at
Zach Wilson. Don't even tell me. I'm just taking Zach Wilson.
You don't get the first pick. Oh, you do get the first pick. You're just taking Zach Wilson straight out of the game.
Yeah, man. The Jets are so garbage.
This is gonna be the thing is with Zach Wilson and like Trevor Lawrence, they are talented and they are going to turn it around at some point. I think they're going to have a decent game,
but I don't think not yet.
You don't think it's going to be this week?
I don't think Zach Wilson turns it around against the Titans.
Probably not. Nope. I wouldn't think so. All right, so we got Vital taking Zach Wilson. Ride the hot hand, as they say.
For sure, man. I'm no fool. I'm not going to
go. So, Lonnie, we got also sitting at the bottom. We still got Davis Mills playing at Buffalo.
Yeah, that's probably going to be my pick. But I'm just perusing like Ben Roethlisberger. Do I take a Ben Roethlisberger?
Ben Roethlisberger, dude, is
one time, by the way, I had Aaron Rodgers that one year when I won my fantasy league. I had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers scored 50 points. He was on a bye week. I picked up Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger threw for 6 touchdowns. I scored another 50 points off the waivers that year. So this, for me to like even be contemplating having Ben Roethlisberger as my worst quarterback of the week.
He is listed right
but
now.
That's what time does.
Yeah.
Time does this to everyone.
Time's undefeated, except with Brady. He is listed as questionable with a pectoral muscle injury, but he's still probably going to play.
Oh, he'll play through it.
Yeah.
That guy played after a fucking motorcycle accident. He should have died. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. He's probably wishing.
I'll take Davis Mills again.
He wishes he had died at this point.
They're 16 point. Yeah. Davis.
They're playing Buffalo, right?
Yeah. 16-point spread favorites.
Oh God. All right. Oh man. This is such a painful pick for me to make, but I think I have to do it. Wait, Carson Wentz at Miami. I don't like that. Jared Goff at Chicago. I think I'm going to take Mac Jones against the Bucs. I don't know. It's between Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence on a short week against the Bengals.
I think Trevor Lawrence's fantasy points will always be good. Even though he starts off terrible, he's always
hold on a second.
Quarter.
Let me look and see if there's any speculation on these Chicago quarterbacks because they both look really bad.
Yeah.
The thing is, I just don't know who's going to be playing. So if Dalton's still the Bears don't know who's playing yet.
Sometimes we should be able to pick the team QBs. Now you're talking. This is the time we could pick.
This was the fun part about last year, though, because you guys were taking wild shots on okay, it's gonna be one. Remember when you guys picked the 2 QBs from the same team last year?
Oh yeah.
Who was it? Which team was it? Was it?
I think it was
the Jets. It was the Jets, and it was Falco and Flacco and
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and you guys, it was whichever one of those.
And Darnold started.
Yeah, dude. Fantasy Fuse, just pick whoever the Bears starter is. That's not the way our game works, but thank you. That is, that's exactly.
That really is the best answer.
No, it is the best answer. But but we don't know who's going to start, and if your guy doesn't start, you get his automatic 0 points disqualification. God, Dalton. He said, Dalton was a limited participant in Wednesday's practice. And Fields' right thumb injury, full participants. God, I kind of want to pick one of those because I really don't like any of the other ones. All right, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go Andy Dalton. I got a nice, healthy lead right now. I think you guys are both picking really bad quarterbacks this week. I need to do something to try to maintain my dominance here. So I'm taking
have a 4-point lead. Relax.
4-point lead is pretty significant at this stage of the.
That's a 1 week turnaround.
If you drop 1 6.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying I got both wins last week. So for the right, so it's right now it's 11-7 to 3, Lonnie.
No, I have 3.
3 points. I can read you the whole list.
How do I have 3?
Everything, right?
You haven't taken first place in anything. You took second place in 2 of the overall contests.
So that's 2 points. That should be 2 points.
No, you took second place 3 times.
Is it 0-1-2? Is that the score?
0-1-2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? It's not my year.
That's a big hole.
So what is it? 11-7-3?
Yeah, 11-7-3.
All right, baby. I'm winning DraftKings and I'm winning best quarterback every week here on out, both. So
not a chance. Those are my lucky numbers. It's over.
11, 7, and 3.
Yep.
11 is my lucky number, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Maggie said all 3 quarterbacks are in consideration. Fuck. I'm still riding Dalton. I got to take a shot. You get the 3rd pick. Like, it's tough. No, you know what? I take it back.
Commit, Nick.
I'm committing to a quarterback that's definitely playing. That's what I'm going to commit to.
Okay.
Because you can't win if you don't play, right?
Oh, look at you. You're so confident in your lead. You're so far ahead, right? Come on.
Yeah, but I want to extend that lead.
Bet big.
I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence, actually. I'm going
Foolish.
to go
All
Trevor.
right, you wasted your pick. I'm fine.
Yeah. You think that's foolish, huh? Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, he's gonna ball the fuck out, bro.
He's
But not really. Fantasy points wise, he will.
That hasn't happened yet.
But the team's gonna. Yeah, he does fine. I think he scores at least 15. I think, right?
Oh, he's had some pretty bad weeks. I don't know what he scored last week, but it wasn't good. Let me see what he scored last week. Last week he scored. I think it was negative points last week.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah. And well, in the league that I'm looking at, I'm not looking at our league scoring, but in one of the leagues, he had a -1, the one that I'm looking at with the list.
That's what? How does a QB get a -1? What kind of?
I mean, this league has the sack points are taking sacks is pretty
You're
rough.
giving him to the QB?
Interceptions. Yeah.
That's line shit.
Oh, we have you get -1 for a sack in our league. Your quarterback takes a -1 when he gets sacked.
Yeah, that should at least be a 0.5 or 0.25. Honestly, come on.
Why would you want more fractional points that we don't need? -1, a nice solid -1. Listen, you're already getting an extra point when he throws a touchdown. You get a +5. I think a -1 for a sack is reasonable. -2 for an interception, -1 for a sack. It's good. I think it's a good system. It's a good scoring system. All right, let's talk real quick about our teasers. Nice job this week on everybody. We all won. Great picks this week. We hit our teaser. For anybody who listens to the show, we did our first 14 teaser of the season. We're going to keep that going into at least part of the playoffs for as long as we feel good about it. So if you bet the teaser with us this past week, good for you. You won. If you didn't, we're going to post our teaser, our 4-team. This is a 4-team plus 13-point teaser, which you can find on several different websites, several different gambling sites. And we're going to post our picks on our Facebook page and our Instagram. So follow us on those. Check us out on those if you want to bet with us. So Fantasy TE, I think it's at Fantasy TE on Instagram and Fantasy TE Football Podcast on Facebook. All right. So we're going to post those. We don't have them. We're going to post them up right after we get off the show. We'll figure out what we want. And we're not doing DraftKings tonight, obviously, because we did it on Monday and I beat you guys again. I can
You
tell.
won on the last drive, basically. You won because of Zach Ertz. I was winning the whole time.
No, you
whole
weren't.
game.
You were like
Yes,
in
I
third
was.
place the whole time, Lonnie. Relax.
No, I swear to God. I promise you I was in first
You're
place. the whole game.
delusional. I don't know what your DraftKings telling
I
you.
swear to God, I was in first place the whole game. I
Not the
promise
whole-
you. I wouldn't even make it up.
You were in first place for a little while, not for
The
very
whole game. Like
Not the whole-
until the fourth quarter, I was in first place.
No, dude.
It was. I don't think it was that long. Yeah, I think that's about a wrap for the show. So am I gonna get you guys on one of these sites to start betting? Because we're gonna hit this out of the park this year. I have a feeling.
I'm feeling a little confident.
I've been good.
This week looks a little tougher. I'm looking at it.
It does. It's a hard
This
week.
made me
Should we
feel
talk
confident.
about it real quick? Because we got nothing else to do, right? Let's
I have a show, so I do have to leave in
okay,
5
cool.
minutes.
All right, that's fine. Did you already decide your picks for the 14 teaser? Who you like?
No,
No,
but
I
I'm
did
looking
not.
right now. I like the Bills.
I like the Bills. I like the Bills. I like the Cowboys +8. I liked the Packers +6 against the Steelers, and I like the Titans +5.5 against who are the Titans playing? The Jets. Those are my top 4. You guys take a look at yours. All right. Well,
The
we don't have to do
Ravens
this.
doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
Who the Ravens? I think
The Broncos, the Broncos are not scoring. They're not going to beat the Ravens by 12 points. That shit just ain't happening.
I don't know, man. I'm a little worried about that Broncos defense.
You think so? You think they're going to beat the Ravens by 12?
No, I don't. But I like the Bills, Cowboys, Packers, and Titans more than I like those. Well, you guys don't have to decide right now. Send me who you like. Send me your picks for that, and I'm going to take all of it into consideration. So, yeah, and send me which ones you like the most. Like rank them, okay, so that I can take that into consideration as well. No, seriously though, because I have the Bills as my number one for sure.
Yeah, Bills.
Bills
Okay.
-3 against Texans. Fucking give me that all day long.
Yep.
I bet all the money I have if it was just a straight up bet on that one. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Fantasy Few says, great podcast, guys. Glad I stopped by. Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Appreciate your advice.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping in. We'll catch you soon. All right. So you guys got shows coming up. We got to promote that.
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
Tonight I'm at Last Call, Beat Culture Brewery. You've all booked me. That's going to be fun. Brittany Brave is headlining. I'll be there at 8:00.
Awesome.
Next Monday I'm going to be guest hosting Red Bar, so that'll be fun. I think that's it for the near future. Oh, Tripping Animals possibly on the 7th, but I keep getting bumped and pushed back, and then the booker forgets to book me. So, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What about you, Vital? You got anything on the horizon?
Nothing coming up this week, but I'll hit you guys up next. Still, check out the YouTube. Check out my YouTube too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't have anything until next Saturday. I've got Twisted Root Kava with my Gold Coast Comedy Tour. Fresh out this past weekend, we had a couple of really good shows. One in Port St. Lucie and then one in Key West, Saturday and Sunday night. Great shows. So, yeah, we're starting to do pretty well. So I'm excited about that one. All right, so we'll be back on Monday. You guys think pretty good for Monday night?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So hopefully we will see you guys back on Monday night. Tune in for that. And yeah, enjoy your week. Good luck in fantasy, guys.
All right, have a good one, guys.